Riding through this world, down, down, all alone, down, down.
Rick's walking out to the fence, down with his gardening tool.
Down, down. The show is shit. Down, I wish I was watching Sons. But
it's The Walking
Dead. And I'd rather be dead. Down, down, down.
Aye, guys, it's 30 days without an accident. The only accident
I almost had an accident watching this. I almost dropped a knife on my wrist. That's how bad this premiere was. Hands down, the worst premiere so far of the 4 seasons.
I'd say it's the worst episode of the 4 fucking seasons up to this point.
Well, I mean, it could be, but there was a couple of dodgy ones midway through season 2. But what I would say is, I would rather have a shit episode with some over characters like Shane and Dale.
But you've got to bear in mind, like, this is kicking off a season. They're like dragging out a season. There's a difference.
Aye.
This episode fucking sucked, but we're going to kick off with Rick the Prick. Kicks off, he splashed a bit of water on his face, he walks out. It's a very dead way to kick off a season opener, isn't it?
I thought so.
Rick just walks out, looks at a bunch of walkers. There's one with bloody eyes. He kind of like doesn't think about it. Then he like starts digging. He finds an M1911, and then he throws it into his wheelbarrow. Carl walks over to him. Why didn't you wake me up, Papa? He's like, because you were reading comic books, sucker.
Comic books?
Aye, comic books, man. The show gets in the bin. Carl then calls one of the pigs Violet, and then Rick's like, you shouldn't name our food, you wee dick. And he's like, oh, sorry, big man. And then we get the worst scene, right? I'll say the worst scene. There's loads of scenes in this that are shite, but we've got Carol cooking breakfast for the residents, right? No in a row. And it's at this point you know the group's fucked. We have about 500 people here we don't know the name of, and they're all jobbers. They're all coffin dodgers. They're all pish. Daryl's eating his bowl of cereal. Out comes this wee specky bastard called Patrick, and he wants to shake Daryl's hand. Is this not embarrassing?
Yep. Oh, you got our dinner. It's been a while since I tasted whatever the fuck it was, dear. I want to thank you personally, son. No, then Daryl licks his fingers and gives this kid the handshake, and I think they've done this. Well, we'll talk about it more towards the end of the video, but I think they've done this to try and make people believe that Daryl could potentially be a goner. But I mean, he was never going to fucking die because of a cold. But it is what it is. Just like we win the job at CO VID.
COVID for anybody in the back. But
Demonetized.
Demonetized, brother. Really think so?
Why do you think I spelled it out, mate? They're going to slap a warning on this vid now.
No, they're no. Slap a warning on this Walking Dead. This was atrocious. I mean...
I've already said that, mate.
Well, it was. Glenn wakes up, right? Doesn't matter if it's a new season. It's the same old Glenn. He's depressed. You know what?
I'm depressed.
I'm going to throw spoilers ahead. I'm actually fucking glad Negan crushed
No,
this.
what? You doing?
What am I doing?
We're not allowed to spoil shows.
Oh, I'm allowed to spoil
No,
it.
we're not. We're reviewing 30 days for an accident. If you can't handle that, then piss off and I'll do it myself.
I'll do it. Anyway, I'm glad Glenn woke up here and was clinically depressed. Definitely. I mean, he might have had a wee sore head, which maybe excuses why he was a wee bit moody here, but... Oh, man, honestly. Glenn, I don't know what happened. The guy was so good. Is it because Frank Darabont left? It could have been. Might have been. Is it because Dale died? Did Dale's death have an effect on Glenn?
Nah, I thought he was pretty shit in season 2, to be fair. Like,
But he was much better in season 2.
Yeah, but you could tell episode by episode he was getting worse.
As soon as he met Maggie.
I can't wait, I went to shit.
And then we cut to the prison gate. We've got a bunch of jobbers at the gate just hitting them with killing them. Then Tyrese basically approaches Karen. Looks like these two are now in a relationship. What do? Do we care for the people in the back? No, we don't. Tyrese says, I don't like killing them on the wall.
I prefer killing them outside when they're not defenseless.
What?
How did this guy live so long? How did he make it this far?
See, for such a big guy who could actually be used in like better ways, like the complete and utterly. I mean, this guy's got this mentality, but you've got a dishwasher like Carol who just let her daughter get fucking abused by her husband and let herself get abused. And she's supposed to grow up in the Steven Seagal of this zombie apocalypse. But a guy like Tyrese who looks like Mark Henry, but actually has a bit of ability to him. Mobility to him. But he gets jobbed out like this. What's going on? I think they did Tyrese so dirty. Looking back,
I think you did these reviews dirty, mate. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, son.
talk about it. I thought about it. Think about it again, damn it. Tyrese, so he's going out in the supply run. He gets told to be careful. Will Tyrese be careful? Only time will tell. We then get the kids are talking. We've got Lizzie and Mika, the introduction of these two. Oh, these two great characters. We've got Carl and Patrick talking here about they shouldn't be naming the walkers. And it's at this point, Carl just really seems like a kid. It's the first time it's been noticeable, I think.
Yeah, because there's not been any other kids in the group. I know I didn't really spit that out properly.
I haven't been spitting anything out properly.
No, you haven't, you shit. What I was trying to say is there hasn't been any other kids in the group, so therefore Carl has just kind of been around adults, and I guess you've kind of maybe just assumed he is an adult. You've seen him as an adult, but now when there's actual kids in the group, you just can't really take Carl seriously now. Like, see if they got in a run, you would just never accept Carl going with them. Whereas back in season 3, it was like, fucking hell, I mean, didn't have many options.
Yeah, I know, definitely, but now...
Then you look at him and he's like about a foot shorter than this Patrick guy. I'd say a couple of years younger than this Patrick guy. Yeah, this Patrick guy's supposed to be a nerd, and I get that looks. I mean, just because someone's a couple of years older and a bit bigger doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be, you know, tougher or whatnot, like, but
how's this Patrick guy survived to this point? Because he wasn't at Woodbury. Like, what was he doing? What were half of these people that are now here doing? I mean, like, Mika and Lizzie, where'd they come from?
my dad brought them there.
Did he? I forgot he even had a dad, man. It shows you that. But, oh, guess what?
Well, they don't for much longer, like.
Nah, flew. But, Rick, spoilers.
No, actually not flu.
Was it not?
No.
Ah, well. Oh, there you go. I don't know. I'm excited for that. Can't wait. But Rick is planting more crops.
Nice.
Michonne arrives. Cammy Hayes. I wish it was Cammy Hayes, but it's no Cammy Hayes. Michonne arrives.
Wait, hold on, right? We both don't like this fucking show from season 3 onwards, but let's at least try and give it some respect and try and refute fairly
I'm refuting it fairly.
and non-judgmental and all that good stuff, right? So,
Alright, so Michonne shows up on horseback, says that she's going to go out. What?
horseback, fucking horseback,
I
mate.
said horseback. Does it matter?
To me, it does. You said horse.
Horse. Nay. Why the long face, Rick? Anyway, Rick wants to go out and check the bloody traps for himself, but guess what? Michonne wants to date, and then I think things couldn't get worse. Herschel then tells Rick, the council has decided that Rick should take his... What is this?
Yeah, so apparently there's a council and it's made up of Herschel, Glenn, Carol, Daryl, and Sasha. Sasha wasn't even a fucking member of the group until the very end, the season finale. So why would she be in it? Herschel is a fucking coffin dodger. Literally, you know, one day away, one sleep away from turning into a walker. Carol, apart from advising someone on what washing up liquid to use when they're cleaning the dishes, I don't see what good she's in it. Now, I agree with Glenn and Daryl, but for me, if there is some council and we're not going to have a Rick-tatorship, then a council would probably be better off being made up of, I'd say, like a Rick, Glenn, Daryl, and that's all you need. Let's be honest, that's all you need. But they're going to put in, let's be honest, women shouldn't be in there, in my opinion. That's going to sound like Andrew Tate, like, but that's what it is.
No, but see if Tyrese...
No, I couldn't...
Could Tyrese not be on this council? He's not going to do any, like, killing. Like, I feel like Tyrese could be the level-headed sort of guy.
I would not be able to live in that prison and have to go to risk my life to come home and have some dishwasher Carol dictate what's happening and making the rules. I just couldn't... I couldn't have that, like...
No, I couldn't have it either, but the whole gimmick... We're led to believe that The Walking Dead over, seasons 1 to 8 takes part over 2 years.
No,
There's no way here.
I could accept someone like Milton being on a council, but he's intelligent.
Yeah.
But Carol let her husband abuse her for fucking years, so she can't be that intelligent.
Nope, definitely not. She's a muppet. And at this point, Carl's like, I want to go in the supply run, Ricky. Rick's like, no.
You know what? I take it back. Herschel is allowed to be on it. Herschel's wise and he's got wisdom. He's old.
He owned the farm, for fuck's sake. Come on, he's the man. He's Irish. He's a wee alcoholic, babe.
Like, I mean, it is good, right? But I just look at that council and it seems very woke to me. You've got your old guy. You're lucky, Herschel. You must be a lefty, or else you wouldn't be allowed
How's
to be.
Darryl and Herschel on the council though, when all they do is kiss Rick's ass, but he's not on the
Then you've got
council?
an Asian guy, and then you've got a woman, then you've got a black woman. It just seems very ticking the boxes to me.
Yeah, I mean, compared to when Sons are doing votes and these,
See this whole democracy, right? And it never fucking works. And I'll tell you why it doesn't work, right? There's no such thing as equality. Not, I don't mean between men. I mean in general, right? There's no one will ever be fucking equal. You cannot have a you could have maybe have like a, in terms of like finances, you can have like a 50-50 share or something, but there will never be like an equal amount of like responsibility or like workload or anything like that. So therefore, these councils don't work. I mean, you look at the council and there might be 5 of them, but you tell me every single person's say or every single person's opinion has got the same weight as the other. You tell me like Sasha, an absolute fucking nobody who's just joined the group, she's gonna have more say than Daryl.
I know.
If you look at all the group, I mean, The Walking Dead did work better, right? See Rick kind of needed to put the dictatorship into play, right? Because look at him when season 2 when they're leaving the farm. You've got people trying to tell him what to do. I mean, fucking Rick's Rick, right?
Carl trying to tell him that he's doing a piss job, but I don't trust him in charge. Well, what the fuck are you doing?
Could you imagine the governor, Woodbury? The governor's the one that bloody got Woodbury started, created Woodbury, but he's going to sit down and let fucking Karen have an equal share of the fucking vote with him? Or Negan? I mean, if you look at all these, and I'm not just on about fucking men that are like dictating here, even if you look at Alexandria, they had a leader. You have to have leaders, right? You can't have this, oh, we're all equal. That doesn't work.
No, you're right, absolutely, but
That's never worked.
it's just a stupid gimmick. We see it here and we see it later down the line in the show. And I also seen a clip for season 11 where there's another court scene, a fucking courtroom scene.
You seen you seen Payback? Mel Gibson?
I think so.
It's like when he's tracking down the top guy to get his money, like he thinks he finds the top guy, and then the top guy's like, well, like me and this guy work for the top man. Like we're 50-50, and then like Mel Gibson's like, nah, no, you're not. There's always someone higher than the other. Then he goes, well, he probably does a little bit more than I do, and he just kills him.
Aye.
So that's what I mean. Like there is no split here, right? There is no fucking council. In my opinion, it's stupid.
It's still Rick. We can pretend there's a council, but it's still fucking Rick.
At the end of the day, right? See if they turn around and say, oh, look, we're going to leave the prison here and we're going to go to a populated area with 10 million walkers in the perimeter. I mean, is Rick just going to go, well, the council voted it, so here, kids, here, Carl, I need to put your life at risk here because of a vote that I didn't want.
You're goddamn right. But
It's like the Sons, right? I mean, you look at Sons of Anarchy, right? Everybody at the table's got a voice. Everybody's got an opinion. And they do have a vote. Like, they do have democracy. But at the end of the day, Clay's the man that runs things. They have votes for major decisions. But, like, when it comes to, like, your day-to-day, your daily living, Clay's the man that... Now, people can disagree with Clay. And people might say, we don't like that. But what Clay says goes.
Exactly.
You need leadership. You got a president, you got a VP, then you got the rest. And I think that could work in Sons. What kind of did you? I mean, I think that could work in Walking Dead. You kind of look at the first 2 seasons. Rick was considered the leader, and Shane was his like right hand man, his lieutenant.
Yeah.
And that's what you kind of need. But see this whole 5-way council, and everyone's got a 20%
chance of winning.
That's not right. It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. I can tell you it doesn't work. A supply group going to a Walmart. Well, it wasn't a Walmart. What was this? It was like a wee supermarket shop. We've got Bob volunteering. This is the introduction of Bob. He's an army medic, and it's like he wants to earn his keep, and it's just pissed me off here. Like the way Sasha doesn't want him to go.
Yeah, for what?
Yeah, I know, like literally, and then like Tyrese is like also being very shite baggy about it because Tyrese is just a shite bag. We've got Sack. We're introduced to this kid who's like going out with Beth, and do we care about Sack? Do you like Sack and his wee shotgun?
Not really, no. But he tells Beth that he's going. Beth doesn't really care. Sack says it's dangerous. Something could happen. She's like, don't worry, you'll be all right.
30 days without an accent. Don't worry, I'm doing the wee Nazi zombies hang on the wall. I'll be all right, man. Rick then goes outside the perimeter. He's checking the traps, and then he runs into some wee Irish woman called Clara, whatever, and then he asks her the 3 questions of doom.
Have you got a place? have you got food? Could me and Eddie come? Fuck you and Eddie. Dirty, manky bastard, man. Why was she so dirty?
I know. I know. Well, no.
There's no
What
excuse for that.
was this gimmick though?
I'm gonna look dirty and try and blend in and smell like shite so the walkers don't catch me and Eddie.
Me and Eddie. About.
So we'll cover
Daryl,
we'll just cover this segment, right? She's saying to Rick here, can you come and meet Eddie with me, blah blah blah, and she goes and
Basically explains like the whole situation. Oh, she was on a flight and then the walkers attacked. Oh no.
And then she's saying, can we come and stay with you? Rick's like, well, it depends. You're going to have to answer 3 questions. I remember when this first started, Trev's Chan marking it. Oh, will anybody be able to pass the 3 questions? Just fucking 3 bloody general. It's like, just general how many people you got? I've killed 10. That's sorry. I mean, it's not like it's a fucking general knowledge here. It's mastermind. I mean, it's legit 3 questions. I mean, who at this stage to survive this long hasn't killed somebody? Rick's killed people. What's Rick going to say? Plus, let's be honest. Why is Rick the man with these 3 questions when he's not in the council and the council supposedly fucking decide things? Just goes to further prove that Rick deep down is still the leader, right? Whether they want to believe it or not. But he's got these 3 questions. So they get to like the campsite. He's looking for this Eddie person. Next minute, Clara, the Irish woman, tries to stab Rick. Rick pushes her out the way and draws his gun. She's like, I'm sorry, he needed help. And then Rick goes and looks at this Eddie guy, and it's literally just a head.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of the game when you've got the guy, his wife in the bowling bag.
A zombified head.
I don't know what came out first. I believe actually that's what came out after that. So maybe they copied it.
Maybe. So it's a zombified head, and then she's apologising, and then she's like, I didn't mean it. I thought it'd be easier to get you here than the boar. And then before anything can happen, she stabs herself in the stomach, and Rick takes this really fucking bad. I don't know why Rick would take this bad. He doesn't know this person, literally just met this person, and B, this person tried to kill him. But Rick is taking this so bad. I mean, Rick is taking this worse than probably any death in the show, I would say, apart from Laurie.
Yeah.
I can't... I mean, I remember when Dale was lying there, he wasn't like, no! Like, what?
I know, this was embarrassing.
What was his...
Like, even if he has turned over a new leaf and he doesn't want to kill people, like, it's still fucking weird.
And then he asks her the 3 questions.
I know, as she's, like, fucking drowning in her own blood. What is this gimmick for Rick, man? This is an atrocious gimmick for your main character.
Imagine that, Clay. Hey, half-sack. You can join the club, I'll patch you in, but you gotta answer 3 questions.
No, that's the thing. It's like, Rick does so many heel face turns.
I know, fucking Gus.
Rick goes through this to, like, killing people in cold blood.
I like you, Walter. I wanna buy your meth, but first I've gotta ask you 3 questions.
Do you have a retarded son? Yes.
Do you have an annoying bitch-ass wife?
Yes.
And are you going to be able to make me long-term meth? Oh, wait, no? You die in a year? Well, I don't want your meth. You don't pass my 3 questions. Like, what? I mean, come on. What's this 3 questions shit all about? So anyway, she did. This was... This was 100% filler. This was... Oh, Rick's not using guns, so he can't go out on the the run for supplies. So we need to do something else for him. Therefore, he's going to meet some fucking manky-looking Irish cunt out in the forest. I mean, how was that? This was bad.
No, yeah, this was. But it just shows you, like, with Rick, how many times does he flip-flop? Like, how does he go through this, and then, like, I mean, I'm not even joking. See, like, within a couple of episodes, he'll be killing people in cold blood.
Right.
I mean, next season, he runs over a fellow police officer. I'm not going to name. Literally in cold blood.
Right, spoiler alert.
And
what do you mean Rick survives to season 5? What are you talking about?
Rick the prick, what? What's going on? But aye, the crew, they arrive at the shopping mall. Daryl's being asked by Sack about what he used to do. Sack's like, detective. He's like, no. And then he goes, I mean, apparently he's been doing this for 6 weeks. I'm surprised he could get 6 weeks worth of conversation out of Daryl, like, but you feel like, I mean, as much as Daryl's turned into a job, you feel sorry for him, man. Merle's died and he's stuck with these sort of jobbers. Is this why Merle sacrificed himself for all this?
Could be.
Could be. I don't think so. But Bob looks up and he looks down. He sees there's legs on the floor. Oh no, but as Bob approaches, he's at the beer aisle, he's at the wine, he's like, fuck, I have to have a wee sip of this. What happens? Oh no, it all falls on him. Oh hell no. And as they're trying to get it off, the walkers like hear this and his legs are like stuck, and then like a bunch of walkers just start piling through the roof because it can't like support their weight due to the helicopter that was on it. But that's not stupid because they were clearly walking on it before.
I know. They're walking on it for God knows how long. And what pisses me off, like how some walkers are durable, then others just literally smash. You'd some walkers falling off the roof, right? Hitting the deck, and they were smashing like a fucking glass bottle, and you know the blood going everywhere. And then you'd other walkers that were falling through the roof, getting their intestines were like wrapping around the roof, and they were just hanging there. So some intestines are strong enough to hang through the roof, yet others touch the ground and just explode.
Yeah, like how are these things even strong enough to pin people to the ground and stuff, and like rip Dale's stomach open? But yet, like some of them fall like 10 feet and they explode like a carton of milk.
Yeah, just
it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Like I don't, you know, like how can they bite through like Jean's bone, but they can't survive these falls?
makes no sense to me. Like,
You know, it just sucks to be honest. But Bob, they're trying to get Bob out, but they're all falling.
Bob's
man.
trapped underneath the wine, which probably a good place for him to be fair if there wasn't a shitload of walkers surrounding him.
Yeah, Tyrese at this point is like freaking out. He's getting like a few hits in, but he's like almost jobbing it. But Daryl and Sack, they free Bob. But there's a walker behind Bob. But guess what? The walker somehow manages to travel like 400 feet in like 2 seconds. It grabs Sack. Sack gets bit, and then within a second, half a second, a millisecond, it's on top of Sack.
Well, no, not really. I mean, what happens is we see Tyrese stacked underneath the shelf, and he looks behind him, and he's got a walker that's maybe about a meter behind him, but it's catching him really, really fucking slow. Then they pull him out. And the walker,
Tyrese, it's fucking Bob, mate.
Bob, right?
I've already just explained this about
So
Bob.
then they pull Bob out, right? And this walker took ages to close down on Bob and wasn't even touching Bob. But as soon as they pull Bob out, all of a sudden the walker's made up the entire distance up to Bob, and then the distance of Bob to be there and bite Sack on the leg. Sack cries out, he goes to the floor, and then they kind of look. And before the group do anything, the walker's up at his neck and taking a chunk at his neck. It's like, fucking my arse. See if this was realistic. They wouldn't have got to his leg in the first place, right? But even if it did, they could have shot the walker, grabbed Sack, and cut his leg off. But they don't want that. They need a death, and they've already got an amputee, so they don't have another amputee. So they make up some bullshit where the walker somehow gets from his like fucking leg to his neck in like 0.1 seconds. It's just not very realistic.
Yeah, it just contradicts everything they go for. Like they only do stuff, I guess, to suit the thing they're going for.
He has to get bit in the neck, because if he's only bit in the leg, you could argue, well, why didn't they take him back and save him?
Or cut it off there, outside. But it's plot purposes. But back at the prison, we've got Carol. She's reading story to the kids, but guess what? There's no actually stories, because Carl sneaks in and she's teaching them how to use knives, and then she's like, "Don't tell your daddy, man." And Carl leaves in disgust. But why is he leaving in disgust? The fact that she's not telling Rick, or the fact that she's teaching kids how to use knives?
I think the fact she's teaching kids how to use knives, like,
But is that not fucking hypocritical of this guy?
because he wants to. Oh, I'm a man. I can help you guys. So if anything, you'd think Carl should be on Carol's side.
Yeah, it's very stupid, man. It's very stupid. But Rick returns for the adventure he's had outside. He looks at the bloody-eyed walker again. Then he looks at the pig, and he realizes that Violet's dead. Oh, not is it the swine flu?
Poor Violet, man.
It's the swine flu. But the supply group returns. Glenn tells Maggie that Daryl has to tell Beth that her boyfriend Sack died. Daryl doesn't even tell her. She basically guesses, and then she's like, "Oh, I don't cry anymore." It's like, fuck off. Nah, I'm just no buying this.
They're trying to turn her into like some sort of, I don't know, like cold, I don't care, the world's done me bad, we're out living in a shit place now, and I've just, given up hope kind of thing. But
Daryl's tired of losing people too. But I mean, it's just cringy at this point, isn't it?
yeah,
Don't worry, Beth, you'll be crying soon enough.
They're trying to make her feel badass or something, like Daryl took this wee kid's death worse than fucking she did. and it was supposed to be her boyfriend.
Yeah, I know. Fucking retarded. But after Glenn told Maggie about this, she's like, I'm not pregnant, so we're not having a kid. So Glenn's like marking it, the happiest he's been in fucking years at this point. But then she's like, well, we could have a kid in this world. And he's like, but no, what about Laurie, man? We gotta keep them alive. But wait, what's Glenn's objectives here? Well, they just live a depressing life?
Just die out.
I mean, you have to move on, for fuck's sake. I mean, like, the only reason Laurie got in such a shit situation is because there was fucking walkers outside the door and all that stuff. But
And she was separated from Herschel, a guy that could have maybe done something.
not Carl and Maggie, like, but
Although he'll be dead by the time Maggie has a child anyway, so I mean, maybe Glenn's right.
yeah, that's it. We've got Michonne. She's looking at a map saying, aye, plans for looking for the governor. But I mean, at this point, there's been such a time skip. Where could the governor have went? Did they actually check Woodbury?
Well, you say it was all burnt down, like.
Well, who knows, man? Who knows? But we've got Bob. He's lying in his bunk. We've got Rick and Herschel discussing the Irish woman outside the gates. Herschel's probably thinking about Rick. He's probably fucking imagining this.
Making this up, didn't it happen?
Is it? Would it be surprising if Rick did just imagine this?
Well, there's no proof it's real, is there?
I know there definitely ain't, but we've got Patrick. He was excused for story time earlier.
He's no feeling well.
No, he's not.
apparently.
That's what I don't get, right? So, during the episode, he's alright with Carl, right? When they get to story time with Carl, he says he's sick. He looks fine, though. It looks like he's pulling a wee sickie, doesn't it?
Nah, I actually thought that at the time. I thought, oh, he just doesn't like guns and shit.
Yeah, and then that night, he goes into the shower. He's not feeling well. You can see, like, he's, like, burning up a bit. And then he just hits the deck. There's blood gushing out his eyes and nose, and then, like, oh, guess what? He's a walker. And the episode ends, and it's kind of like, oh, it's the same stuff that the walker had at the gates that Rick kept looking at. Alright, and I'm sorry, I'm just no buying this. I know it's a zombie apocalypse, but what sort of fucking flu is this? Where he felt fine at the start of the day, middle of the day he felt a wee bit sick, and by the end of it, he's dead. Some kid.
Nah.
I don't know. Very weak episode, very weak ending, very shite all around, man. Like, what is this setup, man? Atrocious? I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. What are you giving it?
3 out of 10, man. It wasn't good. I'm going to get a 4. But
4
it's really
out of
bad
10.
premiere,
So
like, I mean,
it's a 3.5 out of 10. And it's at this point, The Walking Dead is begun its downward slope. It will have little peaks here and then, but overall, it's dead, innit?
it's well dead. It's fucking deader than...
Zachary. Zachary. But anyway, guys, Sack's dead. Till next time, 3.5 out of 10. Till episode 2. Don't know what the episode's called. But till then, peace.